everyone, and welcome to Ohio Valley Couponer. Welcome to another one of my videos. I've been doing something a little bit different for the last couple of months, kind of branching out here on my channel to include some other money-saving things. One of those things I've been talking about is actually thrift store shopping, or thrifting, or whatever you guys call it. I am not a big thrifter, but this year I decided to check it out a little bit more. I wanted to see if there were good deals and how they compare to like clearance shopping, which I am a big clearance shopper. So I've been having fun with that and kind of checking out the Goodwills in my area. We have Goodwill, we have like 3 different Goodwills in my area, and then a Habitat for Humanity store, so not a ton of options in regards to thrifting. I had several of you guys comment like, oh, you'll find so much better deals at independent thrift stores versus Goodwill. I've had a lot of people who not like Goodwill because they say it's not a good cause and the prices aren't as good as independent thrift stores. So we are putting that to the test. Ventured over to another thrift store when I was out of town, and I'm really excited to show you guys this one. So in this video, we are going to be doing a walkthrough of Sophie's thrift store in Heath, Ohio. And this is actually run by the Licking County Humane Society. So 100% of all the proceeds from the thrift store actually go back into the Humane Society, which is really, really awesome. I've gotten comments from several people saying that like you won't support Goodwill because of like how the money goes with like top executives getting paid and things like that. So this is a little bit different with Sophie's because the money goes right back into the Humane Society and it says 100%. So that is, you know, a differentiation there. So everything that's donated, that money earned from the donation will go back to the Humane Society, which is really cool. So yeah, it's a good organization, a really good cause. And so I'm excited to show you guys Sophie's. Now, I do want to compare the prices to Goodwill as well as to clearance shopping, and that's what we're going to do in this video. Now, very similar to Goodwill, they do a tag sale. So basically like a certain color tag, you get half off, which in this instance, it was red. So that's cool. I did find several red things. So I thought this was really cool. They had cards, brand new cards that were not used or anything like that. They were 4 for 99 cents. So that's like under a quarter a piece. I mean, basically a quarter. But yeah, that's insane. And there were a ton of different cards to choose from. And that's like cheaper than Dollar Tree at even 50 cents. So guys, that was amazing. So definitely if you're in this area, you should check out Sophie's for cards because that's amazing. Books. They had so many books. Like seriously, so many books. The majority of the adult books were 99 cents. There were a couple that were $1.99, but most of them were 99 cents. So, I mean, that's pretty great for a book, and I will say there is such a massive selection of books here. And the book area wasn't even all of them. They literally had overflow on another one of the, like, aisles. So, yeah, so many books. Now, that was pretty comparable to Goodwill. They're 99 cents to $1.99, so that's very similar. They also had a bunch of CDs, cassette tapes, even records. These guys were 99 cents as well, which is comparable to the Goodwill in my area. I think they're about 99 cents there. Yeah, normally 99 cents. But the selection here was so much more. Like probably, oh my gosh, 20 times more than my local Goodwill in having the amount of different like things. And here, computer games. I had a bunch of computer games mixed in as well. So literally so many different, you know, games, CDs, cassettes for 99 cents and such a large selection. And I mean, 99 cents is not bad, especially if you're looking for a particular like kind of music. I thought this was kind of funny. They had this Anthony Robbins Program Yourself for Total Success. Yeah, 30 days, like unlimited success, $1.99. There you go. And even more. Up here they had DVDs. The DVDs were 99 cents, which that is cheaper than Goodwill in my area. Goodwill in my area is $1.99. And they had such a large selection. Like, it was kind of overwhelming. There's even some Xbox games there for $1.99. You got to really just have time to look through all of these things and to see what they have and how much it is. Because a lot of these things were actually still in the shrink wrap. And yeah, you can get some really excellent deals. And if you collect old media, you actually have a decent chance of being able to find it at Sophie's because they just had such a large selection of different things. And they even had this handy dandy CD storage case. This is actually originally the tag says Container Store, the Container Store on it. This is only $1.99. I did have to pick this up because I do have my CDs like backed up to my computer or whatever, but I still like to keep them, so that would be a good thing to organize them with. Now, this is definitely better. Their VHS tapes, this is more reasonable. They're probably still going to have a hard time getting rid of them, though, because I don't think that many people watch VHS, but they have their VHS tapes, 2 for 99 cents. My local Goodwill has them for 99 cents for 1. Guys, this was great. This was so great. They had their kids' books, 4 for 99 cents. That is unbelievable. And they had so many books. My Goodwill has them. One of them has them for $1.99 and one of them has them for 99 cents, but 4 for 99 cents, that's incredible. Now, obviously, flip through, make sure they're not like colored in or whatever, like coloring books, make sure they're not like ripped pages, but that's outstanding for those. Something I found interesting is they actually had quite a few electronic items at the Sophie's thrift store. I almost said Goodwill, but no, at Sophie's they had like computer monitors, like TVs. They had a bunch of stuff that you obviously would want to make sure they work. Make sure they have like the cords included, or you can easily buy a cord for it. Make sure you ever like buy a cord if it doesn't include one. But you know, you might be able to get a pretty decent deal that way. So it was found very interesting they had electronic items. So next up, let's go ahead and take a look at the home like housewares department. And I will say the housewares, that was a little disappointing in my opinion. They had a lot of stuff. Like, check this out. This is so cool. The retail nerd in me thought this was super cool. This old Montgomery Ward sewing machine attachment. Also, these pillowcases still had price tags on them from Hills department store, which is like a super old store. Like, I think it was even before my time. So yeah, but I thought that was cool. But I will say the prices, I was a little disappointed in the prices at Sophie's on the home items. But I will say that it actually, my Goodwill does come in significantly cheaper on home items for most of them. Like this picture was $9.99. For a thrift store, I think the max should have been like $2.99 for that, honestly. That's just kind of a lot, and most of these pictures were quite pricey, like this Ohio State one here. This was $9.99, and for a thrift store, I don't know, I just feel like that's a little much. Like, since it's Ohio State, I mean, I can maybe see most $4.99. That's still even kind of a lot in my opinion, but $9.99 was just, that was a little much. You know, kind of surprising considering how, you know, cheap the other items were. But like this was a Nestle Tool House Disney World container thing. This was $4.99. Maybe I'm just crazy, but I think that's a little too expensive in my opinion for that as well. It's kind of weird. The home items, some of them were fair. Like that wasn't horrible for that like little ornament thing. There were some things that were decent prices, but the majority of them were quite overpriced in my opinion. Now I was like looking here at like just the random miscellaneous stuff, and they had a lot of items from Target. I don't really know why, but like they had those index cards for 99 cents. They had these colored pencils for 99 cents. These crafting stamps were between $1.99 and $2.99. I don't know if I'd call that a deal because guys, I was at Michael's recently, and the little stamps, I mean the larger ones might be good, but the little stamps, which they had some of those in there, they literally had a pack of them at Michael's for 50 cents for like 4 or 6. So I don't know. I feel like they do a really great job on the media, on the books, stuff like that. But I do wish the prices were a little lower in this section. Like, you're going to see some composition books. These were 99 cents. I mean, that's really not a deal as compared to just going to Walmart or Dollar General or something and buying composition books. But like this item here, this would be 99 cents to $1.99 at my local Goodwill. Here it was $2.99. Same with this cup that I'm going to show you. I believe this would be like 99 cents to $1.99 at Goodwill. Something even similar, probably at Dollar Tree for $1.25, but here it was $2.99. This is actually a pretty good deal, and I did grab it from my grandma, this like bird cup. This was 99 cents, a bird with flowers. She'll just love that, so that was perfect. And then I thought this was pretty good too, this Wilton Animal Pals 50-piece cookie cutter set. And if it wasn't new, it really looks new, and it looks like it was still sealed, but if it wasn't, it's like new. This was literally only $4.99, so it's a really good deal. Now for the toys, I also found the toys to be more than I would like normally find at Goodwill. Like this ABC Express toy, that was $4.99. This exact toy I did find at Goodwill, at my local Goodwill for 99 cents. Here it was $1.99. I mean, still not bad, but a little bit of a difference. Well, I think this might have been my like crazy thrift store find of the day. They had this little carrying case. It said My First Workshop, and I thought, are there tools, like fake tools in it? No, literally just a case for $4.99. Ouch, that was pretty wild. So yeah. They also had this like large dollhouse kind of thing. This was $39.99. You guys be the judge. Tell me down below, is that a good deal for like a dollhouse this size? I would love to know your thoughts. It also had like, you know, a bunch of different levels and like a little slide and things. Maybe, I don't know. They did a lot of games as well. I'm always kind of weird about getting games at thrift stores unless it's sealed in the box because you just don't ever know if all the pieces are there. But I will say the games were also more expensive at Sophie's versus at Goodwill. So something to be aware of. I will say they did have a lot of like really cool old games, so like really old stuff, which is fun. So yeah, that's like retro vintage things like that. If you're on the hunt for things like that, this is an excellent thrift store to check for those things. This coaster right here is facts. I need at least 3 naps a day. And ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? So yeah, I had to film that. Now, the big question here is, how does Sophie's compare in regards to clothing items? Hands down, that is like the thing at my Goodwill that I think is so incredibly overpriced, are clothing items. So I wanted to see how it lined up at Sophie's and if it was cheap. My answer on this is it depends. It depends on the item. It depends on the brand, things like that, if it was a good deal in my opinion. Like for this, I wasn't overly impressed. A St. John's Bay polo shirt for $4.99. That's a JCPenney brand. If you shop there at the right time, like on a clearance, you could probably get it for probably cheaper than that, not even gonna lie. So yeah, that's something to be aware of. Not everything I thought was a good deal, but there were some good deals. Like I found a red tag Gap shirt for $2.99 with the, that's the 50% off price is $2.99. That actually was really an excellent deal. So I actually did pick that up for a family member of mine who wears shirts with pockets, so that worked out really, really good. They also did have this Izod pullover or polo shirt or whatever for $4.99. I don't know. I feel like the clothing, there were a lot of red tags, which you've not seen yet, but there are red tag items mixed in. I think in the thrift store, it should be $3 or less for clothing items. That's just where I stand. Unless it is like a name brand or something vintage you're looking for, but the Snoopy shirt here is $3.99, so I mean, it's close. I really think they try to pass that shirt off for like $4.99 at my local Goodwill. So yeah, this is an Under Armour brand shirt. That was only $4.99, which for Under Armour, that's pretty good. Like I said, for those more premium brands, that might be better. Here is a red tag. I will say if you need a suit, they did have some pretty good deals on suits at Sophie's. They had them for like $9.99, which I thought was a really good deal if you want a suit and if you are good with getting it from the thrift store. That is not a bad deal for the pants and the jacket and everything, like $9.99. That's pretty impressive. So I thought that was a decent find for sure. And I will say, like, their pants, those were a lot more reasonable priced at the Sophie's thrift store than Goodwill, by far, like quite a bit. So most of them were $3.99, which is way better than Goodwill in my area trying to charge like $9.99. Like, no, not even joking. As for kids' clothing, I thought it was pretty reasonable. Most of the items were like $1.99. But there were several red tag items mixed in there too. So if you can find red tags, you can get stuff for even better. So yeah, and you know, the thing about kids' clothes is I personally do find it easier to get deals on kids' clothes than for adults. Like seriously, all the time I see kids like shirts at Walmart for $2 or at JCPenney. A lot of times under $2. But I don't think $1.99 is bad either. Like I don't think that's a bad deal. So, and especially if you can find the red tags for half off, even better. So that's definitely something to be aware of. And I will say Sophie's did have a lot of furniture, like vanities, desks, lots of things. I'm not even gonna lie, I have always really liked the thrift store because I despise putting things together. So if somebody has something put together and I'm able to haul it home or transport it home, I am all about that because it makes my life so much easier. So, and this is like no exception. They have so many furniture items at this thrift store. You could find like there's a dresser, there's bed frames, headboards, so many things. You could really, really find some good furniture here. And if you're into like redoing stuff, like, you know, fixing up old furniture, this would be a great place to look. And some of it's in great condition. Like that headboard over there was in really good condition. So yeah, just some great stuff. And overall thoughts about Sophie's, I really think this is an excellent store. I think the variety of stuff is amazing. Other than the household items and the toys, I think the prices were outstanding and beat Goodwill quite a bit. You know, there are things I do wish would have been cheaper in the household department for sure. However, I do think that it's definitely, if you are remotely close to this place, I think it is definitely worth checking it out. A couple of things. You should bring cash if you're going to shop at Sophie's because there is a small credit card fee or bank card fee or whatever. So it is best to have cash if you're going to shop there. Another thing though is to sign up for the Sophie's texts. There's a thing at the register. If you sign up, you get 20% off. So they actually give you a coupon, which is like amazing. So yes. So they got that going on. All in all, I think it's a pretty great thrift store, and I think you can find some really excellent deals there, and you're helping pets in the process, which is a really great thing to do. So yeah, I definitely think there are some great deals on clothing items, on the books and media for sure. Like those are the top things in my opinion. Also, the furniture was excellent. There's just some great deals to be had at Sophie's, and I definitely think it's worth checking out for sure if you're in the area. So yeah, nothing but respect for what they do. I think it's a great idea, and I think more communities should tap onto something like this to have a thrift store that the proceeds go to a charity or a cause or something like that. I think it's great. So anyways, guys, that's what I got for this video. I hope you all did enjoy, and thank you so much for watching.